Hello, everybody out there in the internet. It is Wednesday, September 4th, 2024. I am joined by.
Buff Larkin. Oh, it has been a while, but it's too good to be true. But it's always good to be talking to my good friend Tekken. Absolutely.
I am Chris Adams, the Tekken Master, and this is Tekken and Buff Save the Universe, episode number 68.
I thought we were in the 70s.
No.
No, figure that out. That's okay. You can keep going backwards because as soon as we hit 100, that's it. So that's good. You keep going backwards. I'll keep going forward. My question to you first off, Tekken, is we just had the Olympics, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And did you watch any of it?
I watched some breakdancing. I watched women's breakdancing and I watched some other stuff, but I didn't watch much of it. But yeah, I did watch some of it.
I want to ask you about the ray gun, but then I don't want to ask you about the ray
I
gun.
haven't seen it. I only saw clips on Twitter. I haven't seen the whole. I didn't get to see the whole routine.
They just had her on CNN today saying, I'm sorry if I've embarrassed the breakdancing community, the breaking community as they call it. So that's okay. It's like the sooner we can get done with this, the better, because there was some very, as you saw it, you watched it, very good breakdancers, but the focus is always on this one, on this ray gun person, and not of the people who are like spinning on their heads and doing one finger flips and all that kind of stuff. So the sooner she's gone from our memory, the better. That's good. So I also want to ask you another question, and this is one I need to get your absolute. This might break the conversation right off the hop because the Olympics is all of. Did you see any of the running events?
No. Well, I mean, I think I saw like a bit of steeplechase, or it was like on when I was at the dealership for like a while, and I watched some of that. But besides that, no.
That's okay. He'll be doing, as I told Tekken in the pregame, he'll be doing plenty of Olympic-sized victory laps tonight, as we talk about many of the topics that we're going to be talking about. I will also have this question, and this way, I want to know, as I always like to delve into your psyche. Do you like to shower before you go to bed, or when you wake up in the morning, or when you wake up, I should say?
I Okay, but technically both of those times would be before you go to bed if it's after you wake up anyway.
Well, I'm just saying, well, before I go to bed.
I don't do it right after I wake up though. No.
Okay, so I always shower a little maybe TMI. I'm not sure. I always like to shower before I go to bed because I want clean cheeks between the sheets. That's what I love. Absolutely.
What the? Where is this going?
I'm just saying it's a question I want to know because I'm preparing for the podcast tonight. So I went and I jumped in, had a nice shower, thought about what I was going to say. I said, wait a second, I should ask my good friend Tekken if he likes to shower before he goes to sleep or when he wakes up.
I don't do it before I go to sleep because I want to be lemony fresh for whenever I go outside after I take the shower.
Ah, because why get showered up when you're just going to get dirty? I get you. That's good. I understand that.
Also, you have like scruffiness on your microphone. I don't know what it is, but there's like a weird like scratching sound.
Well, sorry. Maybe that's the bed mites. You never know. Anyways, so today we're gonna be talking about a couple of topics, just because it's been a while. First, we're gonna talk about video games. Of course, we're gonna talk about what Tech's been playing. I want to talk about what PlayStation is failing to do. How I went to Fan Expo and I was extremely disappointed with what I saw there when it came to gaming and potential what's coming out in 2024. Then we're going to be talking about, politics because I know Tekken's been chomping at the bit for this. All the running around he's going to be doing on that one. And then maybe some comics, maybe some wrestling, and then we're good to go. So to start us off with, of course, Tekken, as the guru of gaming, what have you been playing lately?
I just finished Black Myth Wukong. Let's see what else. Besides that, The First Descendant. Recently, or somewhat recently, I finished the 10-year story in Destiny 2 as well. Um, let's see. Besides that, Black Myth Wukong, First Ascended, some retro stuff. Uh, Went back and played some Project Gotham Racing, some Star Wars Bounty Hunter because there's a remake for it, but it's garbage. And I'd never played it, so I was like in my backlog for 20 years, and I was like, oh, they're remastering it, and I never played the OG version I had on PS2 or GameCube or whichever version. And I finally played it, and I was like, wow, this is not good.
Not
Uh,
good as in the time frame between the GameCube and all that, the quality of
it's just a bad game,
gameplay,
dude.
or
It's a bad game. It's
is it a bad
terrible.
game?
It's trash. It's garbage. Don't play it. Don't buy it. Uh, maybe they can like redo it again, and fix the camera. Uh, Fix a lot of things. Cause thumbs down. I mean, I guess that's like all I've been playing recently. There's other stuff, but like that's all I've been playing recently.
I know in our past talks you said last year, and correct me if I'm wrong, and I probably am, that last year was a good year for gaming. Is that correct?
Yes, one of the best.
How is this year looking for you?
Mm,
Are you a bit disappointed?
this year's decent. It's not bad.
Okay, so
Solid.
what do they need to do? And you know what's coming up. You know what's coming out in the next couple months. What is coming? Is there enough bullets in the gun to make it a great year, 2024, with the games that are coming out?
I mean, there's quantity, so they've got the quantity is covered. There's plenty of good games, and like there's a ton of stuff in October, November. Um, I doubt anything eclipses uh, Baldur's Gate 3 in terms of how good that game was. Just
Mm,
no way.
okay.
Because there's
Uh,
a bunch of heavy hitters that have already came out, and they just, it's not even close. I mean,
no.
if you're into like epic fantasy RPGs, I mean, Dragon Age, but it's like, dude, it's not happening. Like, be realistic. It's like Dragon Age versus Baldur's Gate 3. It's like, could it happen? Yes. Would I like it to happen? No. 3 years of early access, dude. It's like, I don't. It's like Bioware in their lesser version of themselves. I would like to see it happen, but I don't think it's gonna happen. So we'll see.
Yeah, I'm not feeling that either. It's because I was looking at what games were coming out in the last quarter, and of course your Call of Duty, blah blah blah. You have your no, it's escaping me. You have your remake of Silent Hill. Does that interest you at all?
I I boycott Tsunami, so no.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. So what
I say
game is
Tsunami.
good?
I mean Konami. Whatever.
So what game is coming out there that could pique your interest? It's not on
Astrobot
your
comes
list.
out
Oh
a couple
God.
days. It's supposed to be really good.
Okay, so okay, I guess I can tie this in now. So I went to Fan Expo in Toronto. So I go in there Sunday morning, nobody's around. You'd be proud of me because I went in early and there's nobody walking around. Like the throves of people were not there. So I got in at 9:30. Hardly anybody there. Didn't get crammed up till 12 o'clock, and I was already pretty much out the door by then. Um, so I went and I checked out the video game spots. So Xbox had a spot. That's great. Nintendo didn't. They had the e gaming going on, and all they had for PlayStation. There was no booth. Last year they're pushing Spider-Man 2 last year, but all they had was two signs for Astrobot, two little signs, and that's how PlayStation represented, you know, the biggest Comic Con in Canada.
They don't have to try. They've already won.
Well, that's my question now. We're heading into on November in November. It marks the fourth year
This
of the
gen's over,
PS.
dude. Like Xbox is putting out their games on PlayStation, and it's like if your competition is like not keeping their exclusives, you've won, and you'd have to try. And it's like the Nintendo is like a different market, different beast, apples and oranges. So it's like that's like a different lane. But it's like for their main competition, they have succeeded and they are victorious. So it's like they don't really have to do anything. They can just relax, uh, you know, do whatever the F, because Xbox just self imploded and just stepped on all the rakes. And it's like they're not really a console manufacturer anymore. They're a publisher. They don't like every screen is an Xbox. They're gonna put their games everywhere because at the end of the day, like Phil Spencer said, it's a business, and that's all they care about now is money. So because they can't make money selling just one box of hardware, they have to put all their software where all the boxes are. And it's like, hey, if you're our competition and you got a box, we don't care. We'll put our games there because we need the money. Because Satya Nadella is like, where's my money, Lebowski? And it's like, oh, sorry, Daddy, guy, or Phil's like, sorry, dude, but
Or
I'll find it.
so
Just let me live. Don't shoot me, please. Ah. So yeah, it's the whole thing.
how come most of your conversations with me end up with somebody being extorted or
Cause
or be
capitalism, baby. Yeah.
or being called daddy? I'm not quite
What?
sure. Yes, what you said. You said, "No, don't shoot me, daddy."
What's it?
Yeah, okay.
That's the analogy I was making. You know, it's like you got your even higher ups in Microsoft are like shaking the money tree of like Xbox division. Where's the effing money? We just spent 70 billion buying effing Activision Blizzard King, and then we also bought before that effing Bethesda. Time. Where's our ROI? Where's our return on investment, mother effers? Uh, pay up, or like, I'm gonna check back every effing 3 months, and if I don't see those coins piling up for the tribute you need to pay, and there's not growth, and there's not profitability, heads are gonna effing roll, mother. Ah, so yeah, that's why.
I'll give you 14 minutes where you went the method. That's good. I can see time has calmed you down. That's good. But okay, so and I appreciate that. Thank you very much for telling me about that because as a guy who's not into gaming as much as he was, you expect the representation still, not what I saw. So I'm glad that you were there to tell me. Well, it's pretty much they don't need to put the effort in. They're too busy spending $100 million on a game that they're taking off the market, which we'll get to. So I want to get your opinion on that. But we're heading into the fourth full year of the PS5. The life cycle, of course, is what we're looking at 10 years.
Nobody knows. It can be whatever they want it to be. So who effing knows at this point?
So, so in theory, my math is off, but we're about 1 year away from halfway through this gaming cycle or this console cycle. Um, what do you consider to be the positives of this? Do you are you Was this a console that had to happen or needed to happen because of competition?
I mean, did it have to? If you look at what happened with the cross-gen stuff at the beginning, obviously it didn't. They could have stretched it out a bit more with like just PS4. Um, so no, it's like I feel like the hardware was underbaked. Not every game is for. It's like, dude, yeah, every game's not 4K 60. You're lucky if you get 4K 30, and then like even then it's like internal resolutions upresed or effing what's that word called? I can't think, but like whatever, it gets boosted up to like 4K, so it's not even like native 4K. It's a mess. Ray tracing's like not all games even effing have it. I always go back to like the only like good things we got this gen were like instant loading and whisper quiet fans, and like that's effing it. Because games are like super duper ginormous, 100 gigabytes a lot of the time if it's like an epic, and it's like, oh, cool, I have like 10% of my hard drive space gone or my storage space because effing, you know, for whatever reason, I guess we couldn't optimize that. So that another another lie cake to garble down when they're like, oh yeah, Mark Cerny makes his presentation. And it's like, we can reuse the assets and it's going to decrease the size. Blah 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 blah. And it's like, did it really though? When Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is 3 Blu-ray discs of a effing game big, and it's like, I don't think you did, dude. So back to the effing drawing board on that one, buddy. Um, I mean, crossplay, cross whatever. Like, I mean, that's like another thing I guess that can't kind of. I mean, it was like at the end of last gen, but it's kind of like a standard thing now. It's like we can all play together no matter what platform we're on. That's one of the things I like about First Descendant is like when you see like in the upper right, like whose platform is like or who's on what platform. It's like it's like a nice like we're all just like a nice fellowship of gaming of like we're all one big gaming family no matter where we're at playing together now, and it's like we're not restricted to be like, oh, I'm on Xbox, I'm on PlayStation, I'm on Nintendo, whatever the f, I'm on PC. I can't play with you because you're outside my platform ecosystem. No, but now we can. Because Monster Hunter is like cross-gen or not sorry, I'm sorry, not cross-gen, cross-platform. So that's cool. I think a lot of the fighting games are too. That was cool. That was cool. Because I was like, dude, I'm not losing any Xbox players when I'm playing that online. Like, I refuse to lose to an Xbox player. Um,
That's the spirit. There's that teamwork that the camaraderie
it's not a team game if it's PvP buff. Strike
and
fast, strike hard, no surrender.
and,
Kai
and
style,
the,
blah.
the cornucopia of friendship of fellow gamers. No, it's strike hard, fast, strike hard, and leave a beautiful memory. That's what you're going for. But that's good. So and that's true. So my question to you is, because you are, like I said, the guru of gaming. Look into your crystal balls and see how far the don't
Usually
touch
that's a
them.
singular word, Buff, but okay.
Don't
My
touch it.
pair of crystal balls here just glowing in the darkness, illuminating
Wow.
me with the future wisdom. Ooh.
Talk about your infinity stones. Anyways, uh, look into your crystal ball and tell me if you see a PS6 in the 10-year cycle, or do you think because you have said that they have won the war that they'll extend it
They'll,
and they'll just push it
I
to
think they're gonna
15?
stretch it out, dude. It's like they're gonna try to make as much as they can, for as long as they can. They kind of effed up. I feel because they made game 70, and then it's like there wasn't a lot of pushback, uh, and they got away with it. And now, we feel when you look at the Concord situation, it's like, a lot of $70 games are just that's the standard now because effers. And it's like, well, if 70 is standard and it hurts, it's better than 70 free. And it's like, it's what's like not as good as free 40. So it's like, sorry Concord, you're 40. I have a $0 free to play games that are not you, that are similar to you. I'll play that and enjoy having like less than 1,000 people play it on Steam, and however many thousands, maybe not even 10,000, people play it on console. So yeah,
Like Fall Guys.
what?
Like Fall Guys, that's free to
I
play.
mean, it is
And you have
now.
a
It wasn't
great
when it first
time.
came out. I don't think.
Yeah, that's oh, it was. It was all good. Maybe it was free. I got it for free
I
off
mean, I guess
of.
that's the other thing too, right? Is like if we're not making enough money, just sell it for zero, and then put it in battle pass in, and
You know
now it's
something?
trash, and hope
Look,
people
look.
come and swim in our landfill and get all their little plastic trinkets on their little player character and all their emotes and dances and whatever the f's. Yeah,
Yeah, we'll talk about
or
that
I'll
too
go
in a
just
second.
chase that Fortnite money and snort up the coke in the bathroom. Just oh man, we can be Fortnite too, baby. Yeah. Oh. Ah.
Well, that went from one direction to the other. Talk about Fortnite, and then all of a sudden you're doing coke in the bathroom. It's like, good on you. Hey, what you do
Yeah,
on a
that's what you
Saturday
can do when you
night,
got the Fortnite money. You can just be like, hey, we're gonna do whatever the f we want.
and that okay. I was going to talk about other stuff, but let's talk about Concord, because this is exactly the thing that I. So I heard about this game Concord,
I heard
and
about this game.
I heard about this game Concord. That's how great they marketed it. Is that I heard about this game Concord, and how it was taken off. Multiple years in development. We're talking about what, 8 years?
Supposedly 8, but the studio had only been around for 6, so it's like there's a discrepancy of like possibly 8, but like at least 6. Nobody really knows right now,
Okay.
but it's like around that. Yes.
And yet, it's another thing that PlayStation has done to capitalize on a market, but took so damn long to get it out that the market is there's too much out there. And why do people want to leave their what they know? It's like the Call of Duty syndrome, and go and play something else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If they took way too long, if they wanted to jump on the success of Fortnite and all this, they had to jump on it early. Of course, you can't do that. It's video game developing. They have all these great ideas. Let's make this the greatest thing ever, and the greatest thing ever turns into Mag. Do you remember Mag?
Yeah, I do.
120 people could play online all at one time shooting at each other. Isn't that right, Tekken?
Hmm.
How well did Mag do?
I don't remember.
The drizzling
I played the
shits.
beta.
Yep. Yes, you did. And guess what? They took the idea and they said, okay, let's put, oh, we can only do 32 people. Well, let's go put 140 people together. And the game didn't do squat. Let's talk about Skyhawk, shall we? I
Okay.
love that game. You remember that game,
Yes,
Tekken?
I do. I
Yes.
have that
How
game.
well did that do?
I don't know.
Better than Mag. Better than Mag, my friend. I'll tell you that much. But at the same time, again, PlayStation tried to capitalize on an idea, and they're too, they're shitting on the pot for too long. They're on the pot. They're on the toilet. Take. When you're on the toilet, Tekken, you're on there, and you get your phone out, and
I
you
don't have my phone out on the toilet.
and you're out there. You're watching you're looking at the gram. You're getting your fixes. You're snorting cocaine in the bathroom. Whatever you do in the bath, apparently, I'm not sure what you do, but you're doing that, and your leg falls asleep. That's what PlayStation is when it comes to getting out games. Sitting on the toilet too long and their leg fell asleep and they can't walk. That is my analogy for what PlayStation has been. Let's talk about the Eye of Judgment, shall we?
Okay.
Yeah, how well did that do?
I don't know.
It's shit. How's that? Let's talk about the PS2 HDD, shall we? Oh, let's make the. How well do you think that did?
I mean, Mama's limited. Okay.
I will say this: a great man, Lermer, once said, "It makes great paperweight." But I could go on with all this stuff. It's just a matter of PlayStation sees what the trend is, tries to jump on the trend, takes too long
Time
for
out.
the
Time out.
trend.
Time out, dude. How
Please.
was a hard drive in the console a trend?
Well, they wanted to make it big, and they should have had it when the console first came out.
No, dude. It's like if the hard drive's in the console, the price goes up. It's more expensive. They sell less units.
Yeah, and they
They
sold
made it optional.
optional.
Not even all games supported it, so it's like why even make it mandatory and then like have a higher price for your hardware that you need to sell to make money by selling
The
games.
iToy, the iToy.
Yes, I bought an iToy. I like the iToy.
Yeah, you're one of the very few. Oh no, no, I'm sorry. The iToy came out, and then they didn't make as many games to go with it, and therefore it crashed. It's the philosophy behind. Okay, for you, I want to ask this question: when it comes to the PlayStation and the gurus, since you talked about Microsoft being about the business, do you feel that's the same with PlayStation? And there's a lot of suits, but not a lot of visionaries.
I feel it's 50-50, dude. Like, cause like this, like to go back to what you're just talking about, it's like if they didn't take chances or risks or like think this is a neat little thing, let's try this. It's like it would just be stagnant. Here's our console. Here's the games. We're not gonna really do anything that's like interesting with the hardware, and it's just gonna be like PS1 every console. Because we're not gonna
But
try to have like neat hardware that does neat things. It's just like here's a box that plays games, and we'll make games. And that's our lane. We might as well be Nintendo, I guess, except we're not gonna be family friendly. We'll just be edgy and hip, or whatever our brand is, or what we want to try to do. Maybe we'll even make some family friendly stuff too. Actually, we'll dip our toe in that pool too, because why not? We can do anything. Hmm.
so with Nintendo, they came out with the Wii. So PlayStation said, "Hey, we got to try to capitalize on that," and they created the iToy, and then
No,
and
no,
then
no, dude, you're getting your timeline wrong. The iToy was before Wii. The Move was after Wii.
really, okay,
Yes.
my mistake. I forgot about the move. I thought I put the move all together. Yes. So yes, we had to make again same example. Not many games for the move. They brought it up. They sold what they had initially, and then they didn't capitalize on it. Would I be right in saying that?
I mean, I don't know if I would agree with the whole like they didn't capitalize on it. I think they're just trying new stuff, and it's like, okay, this is this thing. We're gonna try to do stuff with this that's not, or like maybe we can. Yeah, it's like maybe we can try to like pull some users from the Wii, crowd over here to our machine to make money off of them and get them into our ecosystem. And that's what they did. It was like a different, or like a Wii but for PlayStation.
So they pulled some users' Wii's.
That's not what I said.
Hmm, close enough. That's all right. So let this be. We've already talked. You already had a bit of a victory lap. I'm going to give you another lap now. All right. Let's talk about Borderlands
Hmm.
in in particular, Borderland the movie. You hate
I
Borderlands.
don't hate Borderlands.
You wouldn't play it with your friend Joe.
What are you talking about? I enjoyed your effing game that one time.
That one time. Well, good. Then you can jump on with me next time. That's good. All right.
I
So
can't actually because I don't have PlayStation Plus anymore, so it's not gonna
what?
happen.
What? Oh my goodness. I thought you were just threatening. I didn't think you actually could do it. Oh my goodness. That's all right. So Borderlands is now like pretty much one of the biggest bombs of the year in movie wise. Um, what are your thoughts on it?
On what?
On the movie? On
I've
them
never, I
bombing?
haven't seen it. Oh, on it bombing? I mean, publicity like bad publicity. So we got some headlines from it. So not all negative, I guess. Eh.
The thing is, and you'll find this when the stink, and this is going to be maybe the theme. Maybe this will be the title. The stink. The stink is on it. When the stink is on a game, and you've had, I know you've lived the experience. Not you. You don't stink. You take showers. But we already discussed that. But this when there's a stink on a game, and you hear the bad reviews, you know from past experiences how people just avoid that like the plague. Correct?
Yeah.
This Concord is a perfect example. They heard
That I don't think it was about reviews, dude. That was more of a what type of game is this and what type of game do I want? And this is not the game I want. So I could care less. Go F yourself. Good day. And then it was like, yeah.
but once the news
And
came
that's
out,
what everybody thought. And they just shriveled up and died in the corner. And then PlayStation was like, let's kill this thing before we lose any more money.
yeah,
We're looking bad out here. Jeez.
yes, and again, that's it. The stink was on it, so and the stink was so bad that they had to okay, let's dispose of it immediately, right? So that's a shame because they said that's $100 million. They said was used to develop that game. So um, that and just like we talk about Borderlands the movie, they did like it was well over 100 million in a budget, and they're not even getting close to making that back at all. So again, bad reviews led to the touch of death, right? So that is something that is very prevalent, and I'm sure you'll have some other examples as we get into talking about politics.
I don't think that the failure of the movie is not going to affect the success of the game because those are two different
No,
properties or two
the
different
game the
things.
gamers will still pick up the games, but I'm just saying the stink of the movie prohibit like as soon as people saw the reviews, nobody really gave it a shot. They said, okay, I'm avoiding it like the plague, which is right. People don't want to waste their money. If they see 3% on Rotten Tomatoes for the movie, then they know, oh, I'm not going to go see it. But the stink before that was enough that people were just not going to see it anyways. Even video game people would not go and see that movie. I wanted to see it, but I saw it was 3%. I said, I'm not going to go see it. And I played the game. I enjoyed the game, but no, I'm not wasting my money if it's not going to be a good. And they had great actors and actresses
Well, the
in
last movie I saw in the theater was Joker, and I don't plan on seeing a movie ever again in the theater because I could care less. I don't really go see movies anymore,
it. Go
so
to the drive-in.
I don't
I
go to the
tell,
drive-in either.
I tell you, go to the drive-in. It's a fun experience. That's where I saw Wolverine and Deadpool.
It's like if I'm going to sit down for like 90 plus minutes and do something, it's going to be play a video game, not watch a movie. Pass.
You have to go
I
and
don't
get
have to do
yourself.
anything.
You have to go and get yourself a magic box.
What?
That'll make you get one of those boxes that you can watch the movies on or watch TV on. You should do that.
Ah, yes, because I watch so much TV.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying watch. You can watch old TV shows and you can watch movies that are coming out. That'd be good. And by the way, the new Joker movie's coming out.
Mm-hmm.
There's another one. So there you go. And it's singing. That's your favorite kind of movie. is when they sing. Gives you an excuse to go to the bathroom and snort some coke. Anyways, let's talk about speaking of the stink of the dead, or the stink. Let's talk about politics. Are you good after that? Now you ready? Did you put on your running shoes for all your victory laps? So we talked earlier on this year, and I've missed you, by the way. I have. And of course, we had Trump versus Biden. And can I get your early assessments that you were very worried?
Yes, I was. Yes. The answer, yes, I was worried.
And were you but you were still going to vote for Biden?
Yeah,
Okay. So so you saw? Did you watch the first debate?
I did.
And what did you think?
Uh,
On a scale of 1 to 1 million, how worried were you?
Pretty high, at least
Yeah.
100,000. So yeah.
So of course
I
I
mean,
can.
I honestly I didn't care because I was like I knew I was voting for it. It's just like I knew that like after that it's like oh, someone's stock's gonna go down after this, and just crash through the floor, and it did. But hey, like I said so many episodes ago, the Biden baggage is gone, baby. The Biden baggage is gone. Woo! Queen Coconut's in the house. Yes, yes. Ascend, ascend. I'm sorry, but yes, yes. No more Biden. No more old, smelly, melting from the brain. Just
Whoa. You're talking about Biden, maybe, but there's still a chance that somebody else's brain, melting brain, could get a chance in. I don't want to. I put it against it, but then we had a replacement for Biden in Kamala Harris. On a scale of 1 to 1 million, how happy are you with that selection?
oh, I mean, I.
Would you have went with anybody else?
Uh, I mean, yes, I would have, but it's like that's not up to me. So, but then I don't even know who. But it's like it's whatever. Like it's whatever, dude. It's like it worked. I don't care. I so whatever. It's whatever. So yeah.
Would you went with Mayor Pete?
When you're no, when your tire blows out, you gotta use a spare, and we had a spare. So yeah.
Now I saw I know I am a big fan of you on Facebook, and I always want to see when you post your stuff on Facebook. I always throw a like in there or a giggle or whatever. Um, so you were worried about the vice president nomination. You weren't wanting one, or are you happy with what you got now?
Yes, I love Tim Walz. He's the best.
Very good. And so my question to you then, let's look on the other side. Mr. Trump is he's in trouble.
I don't know if he's in trouble.
Well,
I
I'm
would say he's
saying
in trouble. He's got a cult, and they're still behind him. So nothing has changed really. So yeah. Hmm.
it's all the swing voters, right? So if they see one man
Swing
laughing,
voters, undecided voters. Yeah, continue. Sorry, just like whatever. Yeah, yeah. And I don't know who these people are, but what is up with them? Like seriously, like do they just like see like oh is like everything to them like oh I must I cannot tell between the clearly bad thing and the clearly good thing. I'm just gonna like try to be objective both sides. Whatever. Go
no,
yourself.
that's just a person saying, I want to know where I'm going to save the most money, who I'm going to save the most money with. That's it. It's not that they don't care how crazy Trump is. If they can save money, they'll vote for him. In the end, though, if they're not going to get taxed up the wazoo, they'll vote for him. If it's whoever can convince those people that they will not get taxed and they will save money, that will be the one who gets their vote. I hate to tell you this. There's people in America and all over the place. If you are a Republican, born and raised, you will vote for whoever is the Republican nominee. Or there's people who are Democratic, and they will vote for whoever the Democratic as long as they're not melting from the brain, as you would like to say. Uh, and that's why he got switched, because all of a sudden they realized that, okay, we can't just hold on the it's Trump vote against them. No, they had to have somebody capable in that spot. So that you have those two warring factions. It doesn't matter if the guy was a well, he is a felon. They're still going to vote for him because he's the Republican person. So it all comes down to the people in the middle, and it's all about dollars and cents for them because they don't care about the world burning as long as they've got money in their pocket while it burns, and as long as it's not their dollars that are getting thrown on the fire. That's your undecided voter. If they're still haven't decided by now, that's the reason. So that's my 2 cents on that. But JD Vance, what's your thoughts on Mr. JD Vance? Actually, I shouldn't be talking about this just in case Trump wins. You might get arrested. This this Project 2025. He might be listening to this podcast I'm safe. Maybe I'm close enough to the border. He might trick me with some candy or something. But and then I get thrown in a van. But I'm just saying, are you okay with talk? I don't want you being taken away. That's my question.
I don't have to care, dude.
Are you packing the car up just in case? 4 years ago, you were ready to go. Are
I'm
you ready
always
to
ready
go
to
this
go, Buff.
month?
I hate it here. Nothing has
There you
changed. Nothing has fundamentally changed, as Biden would say. I don't know.
go. Okay. All right. That's good. So, uh, the thing is, there's been a nice comeback, Kamala. Of course, in less than 6 days, in a week's time, she goes off against Trump one more time, or at least the first time in their debate. In case he backs out, but I don't think he will. Everybody says he is, but I don't think he will. Um, does it have to be a shellacking from Kamala onto Trump, or is it basically she just has to stand there and let him blow himself up?
The second thing, because if you look at the first debate with Biden, like it wasn't even he didn't even do good. It was just Biden was so bad. Because if you look at every response Trump had, it's like his answers were not either answering. He didn't either answer the question or it was just like bad policy. Whereas Biden was just like, oh, we beat Social Security, and then Trump's like, beat it to death, and it's like, oh, zingers up the wazoo, all night long.
Yeah. So
Now that's not a corpse that you can just like literally beat like a dead horse. It's like, oh, well, we'll see. We'll see now.
so yes, I think there's enough faith that people do like last time and come out in droves, uh, especially the women voters for what has happened during Trump's reign. That do you think if Trump loses that that's it? They're finally done with this
No,
whole
no, no,
idea.
no. Until he
So he's gonna.
dies, dude, it's his party.
The thing is, he won't get well. He won't get carted. He won't be carted out in the next 4 years to try again when he's in his 80s.
Unless he's
So
just
it's
like
just
bored and doesn't want to run again. It's like no. It's like until he abdicates the throne. It's like nobody will stand against him.
but if he has no drawing card, if he loses everything, like the Senate, the House, and the presidency, then he's failed. It's like okay, then it's time for somebody to take him out. Now my question is, who's going to fill in his shoes? Who's going to take over? Who's the next person in line?
I don't even care. F the Republicans.
Yeah, but the thing is, eventually people have to go back to the Republicans. They can
Yeah.
only have so much
Wait. Time out.
Democrat.
Time out. It's like, dude. Okay, that's like okay, like we'll see when we get there. But it's like as it stands, it's like there is no like if anything, it might be Vance because he's the VP. But it's like I doubt that's the case because it's probably going to be like a melee like it was at the primary they had for this one when it was like Nikki Haley, Vivek, and all the other usual suspects of like power, yes, Ted Cruz,
Yeah.
etc. etc.
Let's go back. Talk about Reagan. Reagan was two
Why are
terms.
we talking about Reagan?
I'm just showing you the template here. Reagan was two terms, then Bush had 4 years, then went to Clinton for two, and then went to Bush for two, then went to Obama for two.
Hmm.
So it's either flipping back and forth, two terms on to the next guy. Then of course, then it was our buddy boy Trumpy. who took over, and then he lasted one. So he broke the streak, and now we had a term of Joe Biden, so that's good. So we could either go one term back and forth, or we go back to doing two terms, and then people get fed up with Democrats for 8 years, or Republicans for 8 years, and then they go vote for the other side. Like even with Obama, but then again, we had it was Clinton. If Obama was able to go more than that, he darn right he would have, and he would have kept winning, as far as I'm concerned. But unfortunately, he couldn't. So Hillary Clinton took over, and that gave Trump that leeway to get in, right? So I'm just saying that it
Yes,
seems to
what are you
be
saying?
two terms and then changes, right? So I'm just saying that this go around, I think the Democrats have enough right now with Kamala to go another term, but then it's going to go flip back over to Republican after that. As soon as they know Trump's out of the way, if Trump wasn't in this position and it was another Republican, do you think the Republicans had a better chance of winning?
Yes. Yes, I do. Um, yes, to answer your question. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
because
specify why.
because the reason, yeah, you don't want to get arrested. Biden won on the offset because nobody wanted Trump to win again, and here we are again doing this whole philosophy just with somebody different. And let me just say this: I am thoroughly disappointed if Kamala doesn't win, especially if it's because she's a woman and a woman of color. If she loses because of that, and they'll never say that, well, Trump will, because he's already done it. But I'm just saying, she has what it takes to be the next president of the United States. And if some jackass has a theory that she can't because of those two things I mentioned, then Americans can go F themselves. And I can get arrested for that. Because I'll stand by that statement.
Did you do something to your mic? Because it's doing the thing again.
Ah, for Pete's sakes. All right, I stand up. There you go. Am I sounding better now?
Yes.
There you go. Anyways, I had that nice speech, and that's all you had to say. Perfect. All right, good enough. All right, so
What? It's like, dude. Okay, the thing is, Kamala has like another term if she wins this one, and it's
yeah,
like she can go two. Then we have like three Democrats in a row, which is like unprecedented. That's never happened in like modern era.
no,
Um, Personally, I think it's possible because it's like, okay, my analogy is like the scene in Infinity War when they almost have the glove off with Thanos, and like Star Lord is an a hole and like ruins it, and it's like all these old smelly boomers and these like conservatives. It's like end of the line. They're getting up there in age, they're fading away, and then like we've got the young people coming in, and we're more progressive and to the left, and there's more of us. And then finally, we got the numbers. There's mutiny on the bounty, and we could just taste. Okay, well I can taste it. I can taste it. I can taste it. I can smell it. It's like it's almost there. It's almost there. The glove's almost off. The glove's almost off, and I'm sure there's just something that's going to happen. You know, something Benjamin Netanyahu, and it's like, who knows? Who knows? Maybe there's a war with Iran. Maybe they just keep, bombing Palestinians. Who knows? It's like, just we're so close. And it's like, the climate's getting worse and worse. And it's like, and there's a school shooting today. It's like, hey, gun control, that'd be nice. But there's always some excuse. It's like, oh, Senate parliamentarian, we couldn't do anything. Oh, mansion. Oh, cinema. It's just like
didn't
so close, but so far. But hey, maybe I can finally get the F out of here and just be on the beach with my coconut in New Zealand. It'll be great. It'll be great. It'll be great. But it'll probably never happen. But hey, it could happen. So never say never.
didn't Netanyahu have a conversation with Trump? Wasn't that some part of the news, and all of a sudden that's just been covered up? Gee, I just don't know. It infuriates me. Anyways, so yeah, so I'm hoping that we'll both be running together on the victory laps come November.
And then
That's for
like
sure.
we got policies the other team doesn't. It's just like, oh man, we're gonna get rid of Obamacare, or we already got rid of effing your abortion rights. What else are we gonna get rid of? Because we never do anything positive to like make anything or create anything. It's like we're just gonna like tear down, tear apart because we're effing evil, and have fun with higher taxes. because we're
Well,
gonna cut it for the rich, and they'll be swimming in the money, and it won't trickle down because trickle down is a lie. Suck it, peasants.
it all comes down to we can't have one side create policies that will be better because then the other side won't get in then because then
What are you
they've
talking
making
about?
well that's why Trump kept knocking down all these things the border stuff that they had worked with the Republicans on. Trump said don't vote for it, so they didn't, or they would have been a brand new policy that Kamala or Biden could have said we did this during our time here.
But it doesn't matter. It's like even if they did, it's not like they'd be like, "Oh man, we really like that new border policy from the Democrats and Biden. So good."
It doesn't matter. It's the people who are voting for him have to say that. Oh well, they did do
They
something.
would because that's kind of how that works, Buff. Because they're like, well, our base can go after themselves. Um, you know, we know we've got them in the bag. How can we get all these Republicans out to our side? And like, they hate us and they'll always hate us. But then maybe if we just go enough to the center or the right, it's like we can pull them in. Like all the Republicans we had talking at our convention, because they're totally they're totally in good faith and not going to stab us in the back or anything. Totally gonna happen. Ask Mitch McConnell how that goes. Yeah.
Exactly. Well, that's good. Well, again, in November, I hope to say we
I'll
can have
put a
that,
Liz Cheney in my cabinet. It'll be a fun time. Just I'm sure nothing bad will come of this.
and then RFK Jr. will join Trump's side, and I can understand a word that man says, so that's okay. Um, let's get to talking about something a little different. I did mention this earlier on, Deadpool and Wolverine, and you haven't seen it.
I
And
have not seen it, and I will not see it because I don't care about Deadpool. Not my biggest uh, favorite Marvel character. So yeah,
well, it has Wolverine in it.
I don't effing care about Wolverine.
Isn't there a game coming out in December with
No.
Marvel?
This okay? Is it Marvel Rivals or something else? Because it's like
Yes,
I don't know of any other game by
the
Marvel that's coming on.
Marvel Rivals.
What about
Yes.
it?
Does it interest you?
No.
Who would you be?
I haven't even like watched anything from the MCU since Endgame.
Just guess. Just give me a character who, if you had a
Cyclops,
chance
but
to.
he's not in it. Oh.
Oh, well, that's there's a reason for that. All right, that's good.
At least not yet.
Uh, that's right. Is there anything you want to talk about before I get into the next little bit?
No, there's nothing I had prepared for this, so no.
You should have took a shower. You would have had some questions like I did. Anyway,
Oh, I
so
guess I have one thing. Did you
sure.
ever finish Baldur's Gate 3?
No.
I knew it. I knew it.
Hey, but at least I paid for the game.
Oh, I paid for the game.
But no, I didn't. It's a very good game. I enjoyed it. But I have not played. I gotta remember, Techie. I'm almost 50 years old. Next month, I turn the big 50. Half a century of my insanity, and then things change on my perspective. But it's not like I don't want to play it. It's just I need to find the time to play it. But I do say that from what I played, and of course when I played with you, I thoroughly enjoyed that game. It is something that once I can master it, and I don't know if you could truly master it, you can because you played it now 3 or 4 times. That it is something that will be very rewarding once I get a good handle of it. But then there's always Fall Guys, so we're good that way. So have you read any comics lately, Tucker?
I've not read any, but I've seen YouTube videos about stuff that's been happening.
And so, would you like me to fill you in on anything?
I mean, whatever spiel you've got, you can go ahead and go through it. I mean,
Spiel?
Krakoa era is over, which is like I feel like they effed up on what they did. They shouldn't have pivoted towards like the status quo back to what it was. They should have made the mutants cosmic, but that's their fault. So
Well,
whatever.
just remember that they had that
Also, is it
Hickman
true
left.
like that like Kevin Feige had like a mandate of like they wanted that to be the case of like that's what they were doing?
I believe so.
Because
I think
that's what I heard on like the YouTube video. But I was like, oh, is this person just like saying something, or is this actually what happened?
so.
Does he like
You,
have like? like editorial control over the comics?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So, oh, he can have a nice say in it. I'm just saying uh, that our good friend Jonathan Hickman, you love him, I love him. I'll talk more about how great I love him in a little bit. When we talk about some of the stuff I've been
Oh
reading.
yeah, love me some
He,
Hickman.
he had a vision, but it was for this time, and this time, and this time. And he got to this part, the first part, and then they said, "Well, let's expand it some more. Let's do some more on this. Don't let's not just stop. Let's not end the party now. Let's have a couple more drinks. Let's have let's have some hors d'oeuvres. Let's have more chit chat. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why he left, because it was like it was straying from his original vision. So
Yeah, how many
it,
how many parts is Exo Swords? A lot. It's like over
yeah,
10. It's
yeah.
ridiculous for an event.
But the thing is, Hickman was always, hey, Fantastic Four and the kitty group. He wrote them both. He was working on a project that had a whole bunch of chefs putting their own kind of stuff in, following his vision. But they're like, oh, we can do a little bit more with these characters, a little bit more like that. And then so unfortunately, when you have a whole bunch of chefs, you can't control exactly how the meal is presented. So he left. Now he's doing the Ultimate Universe right now, and if
And he
you have
gave us what we wanted. Spider-Man and Mary Jane are back, baby.
and the man's got a beard, if you're so have you read any of those issues yet?
It brings it back around to the Biden baggage and New Day, cause yeah, but I've not read it. I haven't read any comics. I want to get back into Saga, but I'm just behind, so it's not happening.
Well, I've read that and keep skipping it. I don't understand the appeal anymore, unfortunately. As soon as Buddy died, that was it for me. That was it. Spoilers. That was it for me. And everything since that moment has gone down the absolute shits. So, and that's a quote. But I would tell you, if you got a chance, read the Ultimate comic line. They have Black Panther and they're all good in their own way. Of course, Spider Man. I would read that one first. I would also read the Ultimates. That's been a fantastic read as well. So those would be two. I just picked up Aliens versus Avengers. Oh my god! And who rates that book? Hickman. Oh, it's fantastic. I don't even want to spoil it. I want you to read it. So you played the Alien games, have you not?
Not all of them.
No,
Which
that's
which
fine.
like what do you mean by which one? There's a ton of them, dude.
Well, I'm just saying, have you watched the movies?
Not all of them. I've seen the everything
Look,
before Prometheus I've seen.
Prometheus.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Prometheus and Ford I've not seen any of the new stuff.
I took the kids on Monday, on Labor Day, to see the new Aliens
I
movie,
heard it was
and it
good.
was it was very good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. But so Aliens, Avengers, Hickman, wonderful. I would tell you, if there's any chance for you to pick up that book through whatever means you need to, do it.
Oh,
Fantastic.
actually, speaking of comics, I know that there's a Transformers one that's really good too, but like I
Yes.
don't want to read it because it's the shared universe, and it's like it pisses me off that like that's what they did, and it's like, dude, I don't care about G.I. Joe. I just want Transformers.
Well, it's not. There's little blips, but it's not like you don't see GI Joe in the Transformer books. You see more Transformers in the GI Joe books, but it's just like what they create the origin for some of these characters. I hardly see like I've read that Transformer book, hardly any GI Joe, like next to zero when it comes to GI Joe in the Transformer book. And the Transformers do wrestling moves when they fight. I think Optimus Prime gave somebody the Rainmaker. Clotheslines, big boots to the face. Oh, it's fantastic. Tombstone powder. I don't know if it's tombstone. I shouldn't say that. I don't know if it's tombstone powder, but oh my god, it was just you see it. That's the freaking Rainmaker. It's like it's just fantastic. So yes, I would recommend that for sure. I would recommend the Ultimate line. Um, like I said, I was at Fan Expo, so
So
I
do you think they learned their lesson and they're just gonna like let Hickman do his thing on Ultimates and like not mess with it?
well, the Ultimates is written by somebody else, but Hickman.
Well, I mean
But I
like
think
that whole like line that he's doing because I saw he's doing like a Wolverine book too.
some that's not everybody was kind of yipping at that book. I kind of enjoyed it. I kind of enjoyed it. They said it didn't feel like a Hickman book. So, but it wasn't a bad read. I kind of liked it, so that's good. But like I said, I went to Fan Expo. I got a Justice League book autographed by the artist Kevin McGuire. That was my big thing, and they had Jeff Johns there, well, they said he was there. I never saw him. Scott Snyder was there. It was good. It was fun. They have a new comic line called Ghost Machine, and Jeff Johns is part of it. Gary Frank, you know how big a fan I am of Gary Frank. He wasn't there, but he said he was going to be. I never saw him, and some of the other people on that line were there autographing books. I was like, oh, I should, but it was like $50 for a book that was autographed. No, I'm getting to be more tight wadded as I get older because I don't have that many working years left. I don't eat dog food, but you know I don't. But it was a good experience. It was fun. But if I would tell you right now, Transformers is a great read. But Ultimate Spider-Man is fantastic. I don't want to spoil it for you, but if you're smart and you're very smart, that's my comment to you today. You can go home, you can go have a shower tonight and think of this nice comment. You're a very smart man. You'll see what he's doing. He's changing the whole idea of the villains and everything around them, and it's
See, like I
fantastic.
haven't read it, but like after Superior was so good, I was like, I don't know if I want like just another Spider-Man story, even if it is from Hickman. So I guess I would check it out because I do. I mean, I enjoy the character, but like now that I know that they like changed the status quo for like Happy Peter, we'll see. Because that would be a change for sure as well. So as opposed to
Happy.
you know, uh, oh no, everything bad always happens because my life sucks and I'm Peter Parker.
Well, I'm sure that's going to come down the line, but for right now, he's feeling his oats, if you will. So that's good. It's good to see. Big fan of that book. And there's others like it's a bit of a renaissance, but they have that absolute power that's happening in DC that's supposed to break off into a new universe and the old universe. So that's happening. So it's coming up to the last chapter. So that happens October, and then the new absolute universe for DC comes out in October with Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. So that's something to keep an eye open for. So it's a great time for you to jump on in about a month's time.
Oh, also, like after Krakoa, I kind of wanted to check out the X-Men book that had like Juggernaut and Kid Omega and Psylocke on a team and Magic, cause like that's a kind of a cool team. But then I was like, Krakoa was so good, dude. Like Krakoa
Yep.
was so effing good, and it's just like to go back from that, I gotta give it time. That was
The
just so
only
good.
the only X Men book that I read is that one that I've
Yeah, cause
read
like I
of the
saw
new
like there was one
launch.
when it was like they go to Louisiana. I was like, mm.
So
I mean,
some
I
like
guess it's kind of a neat concept if like they close the school and then go somewhere else, but it's just it's they've already done that before, so it's just like.
I yes, exactly. Did you
I mean,
see
that's the
that?
thing is like Krakoa was so good. It was so good, so refreshing. It was like it was near perfect, and just like they took it and they milked it for all it was worth, and just like everything else, at the end of the day, they just okay, they didn't throw it all away, but it was just like, we could have did this thing, we could have did this thing. We had epic apocalypse with us at the end, and no, we're not gonna do it. We're gonna just have him be a villain again. And it was just like, that would have been just effing like he's like so old. He knows so many things. He's so ancient, and it's just like we're not gonna do it. And then it's like all the other things we'll just throw back in the white hot room and call it a day. And it's like, oh, what the f, Marvel? What the f? Whatever.
Do you want me to spoil a little bit of the Aliens versus Avengers for you?
Yes, because I'm never gonna read it.
Okay. So it's set up in the future, maybe 60 years down the way, because so the Kree have started experimenting with the aliens, and or somebody has, and they've been trying to use it on Kree and Skrull, and then so the Black Panther, older, and his son are now part of this global alliance to try to take over the universe as a protector, right? Anyways, uh, so what happened was that they sent the alien spores to like 12 different planets and one being Earth. And so pretty much it landed, it decimated the whole world, and only one city's left. So all that's left there for heroes is Miles Morales, Bruce Banner, but he's like old, Tony Stark, who's in a wheelchair, and Captain Marvel. So of course the Fantastic Four is dead. All the only person that's still alive is their daughter, who's now, and this is her quote: "I'm 43 years old, twice divorced." Because and she's tried. She went off on a mission. She went and grabbed herself, tried to grab an alien egg to try to reverse engineer it to try to kill off the aliens. So she gets back. The aliens are chasing after her. Bruce quickly changes into Hulk, goes and saves the day, saves her. She goes and starts working in the lab. Bruce comes up to Tony and goes, I would have been very mad at you, Tony, if we lost her. And I mean, I would have been very mad at you. And here's Tony in a wheelchair, older than dirt, going, I know what he means by that. He's gonna beat the living crap out of me as the Hulk. So, anyways, some times pass. Bruce goes and checks up on Valerie because he made a promise to Reed that he would look after her, and can't get into the lab. Well, it turns out that she went into the alien hive. She had the um, uh, invisible woman's reflector kind of thing, to emulate. But then she grabbed the egg and then she tripped, and she said, as soon as I tripped, they were all over me. So what happened was that they planted the egg inside of her. She escaped, and then so basically, as she's telling Bruce this in this pre-made video, the alien was starting to come out. And she said, Bruce, don't come in. And as he's watching this, you can see his hand turn green. He busts into the lab. The alien jumps on him, and it's just a wondrous issue. It's just nobody is safe, Tekken. Nobody is safe. So you should check it out. That's Hickman. That's Hickman at his finest. Hickman at his finest. Absolutely. All right. Well, this has been a great chat, buddy. This has been a great chat. I've missed you, but if you have nothing else
I
to
thought you said
chat
something
about,
about games for next year or something.
oh yeah, I'll read off some games. I have some stuff here that let's see. Let me pull up my games for next year. Video game news, no. Games coming out. All right, let's take a look here. Let me pull it. Let me pull this out. Let me whip this out. As we're talking about your crystal balls. All right. Now we're not talking about Civilization 7. We already know what that. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 was come out on February 11th, 2025. See, a lot of these games I wouldn't like. Borderlands 4. No date yet for that. Crimson Desert. Are any of these games hitting you? Oh my God, they're doing Death Stranding too.
That was at the Game
Oh,
Awards, I think, like a while ago or something, or one of the Jeff Keighley things. Obviously, because he's BFF with Kojima.
Doom: The Dark Ages. Of course,
I've
GTA.
not played the other ones, but supposedly it's a really good series.
Over and under. GTA 6 coming out next year.
Uh, I want to say it's over 50% happening because it's like the two big games for me next year are GTA and Monster Hunter, and like everything else, I'm just gonna be like, I'll get this at the end of the year when it's half off.
I'm
I
gonna
mean, not
say that.
everything else, but like I'm trying to like really cut back on game purchases next year. Besides those two,
Well, that's to take with you to New Zealand. less to take with you to New Zealand. Absolutely. I Here's my prediction. GTA 6, first quarter of 2026.
I
I can
mean,
give
there's
you
a supposedly there's a PlayStation showcase and a PlayStation or like showcase State of Play. There's one or two or both. Um, so like supposedly the PlayStation 5 Pro is like going to be shown soon. It's supposedly still on track to come out this year, but I guess we'll see, man. And like I imagine if they show it, they'll show more GTA 6, but I don't know. But it's like there's nothing else that would like push the hardware, so it's like I don't know why they wouldn't show that at the same time. And then like if that's supposedly coming out this year, then it would like be a linchpin for sales until the game comes out next year. So that's what my theory is.
okay. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. I thought that was coming out
I don't care about Indiana Jones, but it's coming to PlayStation because Xbox putting out all their games on PlayStation now because they can't make money from just Game Pass, and they need to sell games because it's more lucrative than Game Pass subs, which they're finding out the hard way.
Judas is coming out in March 2025
I
from
don't care about that.
Bioshock. There you go. Killing Floor 3. Don't care about that. Mafia, the Old Country. Oh, that's something up here. Up. And of course, Monster Hunter Wilds. There you go. You're mentioning it. There it is. Vampire the Masquerade. But so what is it? What are they adding on? Have you heard any much about Monster Hunter? What they're doing, or are they just?
I mean, just they keep putting out videos, but it's like I'm not. I'm gonna play it regardless. So it doesn't really matter. Like they're adding. I mean, you get like a thing you can ride around. I think you get like maybe two weapons or something. It's I don't know. It's just I haven't really paid attention. They showed like a bunch of weapon showcases, but it's like, dude, it's Monster Hunter, so it's not really. It's like it's very what you see is what you get. It's not like they're not really changing. It doesn't seem like they're changing a lot up. I guess it does look really good though. Like Gamescom, I looked at some of those whatever's from the thing there. It looks really good. So I imagine it's actually probably sooner than later. I imagine it's like the first half of next year, or maybe Q1 or
Oh,
Q2 for sure.
oh, I thought Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater was going to come out sooner than to be.
I think it's this year.
Oh,
Let me
I
see.
know it's saying that we don't know yet. New Mass Effect, of course. Has that said any? Has there been a date any for that?
Not until Dragon Age comes out this year.
Okay, that's pretty much it. Restaurant Project Trip 007,
Yeah,
Star
Metal
Wars
Gear
Night of
Solid
the
is
Old
supposed to be this
Republic
year, dude.
remake. Yeah, well, that's good. Well, the
Oh,
see that'll be some nice surprises. I
no,
thought
no,
the
I don't.
Indiana Jones game was going to be this year too.
But it's
So
not, it's like it's just a they're just that's the exact same game with just better graphics. They do. I don't know if they did anything to it, but it's like what doesn't matter to me anyway. Because I'm like I said, I'm boycotting Konami, but like it's not like Kojima has any involvement with it, so it's not like it's gonna be you know beyond what it was when it first came out. Besides better graphics.
well, that's all right. That's good. All right then, Mister. Well, is there anything else you'd like to add before we go?
Uh, mm, probably, but not that I can think of.
Are you watching any wrestling?
Clips on YouTube.
And what's your
Oh
thoughts?
yeah, you did say something about wrestling. I mean, about what?
Well, the bloodline. It's been a big change since last time we talked.
I stand by what I said about the storyline going too long. Should have wrapped it up, dude. Now I could care less, and I would say it's worse because I don't care about the little splintering factions between the Samoans. Pass.
Have you seen Jacob Fatu?
No.
Once you see Jacob Fatu, you'll understand that man might be the future. You see him, he just is got it. He's got it. He's insane, and you think he's insane. So, and he probably
Oh,
is insane.
actually, they did start adding more classic games to PS5, so I hope they keep doing that. Um, because they put all three Time Surge games, which is awesome. The multiplayer's not in there though, which is kind of garbage. And then Jeanne d'Arc from PSP is on there, so I hope they just keep adding more classics that deserve to be on there. And then beyond that, Free Palestine, ceasefire now.
Good for you. Good for you. Perfect. All right. Well, sign us off then, good sir.
Okay, so yeah, that was it for this episode of TKKN and Buff Save the Universe. Feel free to leave a like, comment, subscribe, favorite, share with your friends or not. That's cool too. And until you see or hear from us again, you've been saved by the power of our friendship. We get to dump the Biden baggage. I feel so good. Woo, yeah. Cause man, I was bummed out. Okay. Also, I gotta say, I'm not trying to sound ageist or anything, but dude was old, and the wheels were coming off the vehicle, and we needed to like swap vehicles, cause it's like we don't want to lose this race, and it was like emergency situation. So sometimes sometimes in emergency, you gotta do desperate times, desperate measures. And it's like, do you want fascism? I don't want fascism. Do you want, that that effort again for 4 years? Yeah, me either. So it's like, sometimes you gotta cut the cord, or sometimes you gotta, euthanize someone. Whatever. I mean, Nancy Pelosi, she's like the hard way. What was the hard way? That's my question. Was it the whole like, Rudy scene from Endgame when he's like strangling motion? I don't know. I don't know. What was it? So we'll never know what the air quote hard way was from Nancy Pelosi. But feel free to guess for yourself. And I guess we'll end it there. So like I said, until you see or hear from us again, uh, you're welcome. And you've been saved by the power of our friendship. Excelsior!